Traveling to destinations with extreme climates, whether scorching heat, freezing cold, or high humidity, can pose serious health risks for seniors aged 65 to 80. As we age, our body's ability to regulate temperature naturally declines. The elderly are more susceptible to dehydration, heat exhaustion, heat stroke, and hypothermia. Even minor changes in weather conditions can have a significant impact on heart rate, blood pressure, and overall energy levels. For instance, extremely hot destinations, such as deserts or tropical regions during peak summer, can overwhelm the body's cooling mechanisms. Seniors may struggle with sweating inefficiency, increased fatigue, or dizziness, which can lead to falls or other accidents. Heat also places additional strain on the cardiovascular system, increasing the risk of heart attacks, especially for those with pre-existing conditions like hypertension or heart disease. Moreover, prolonged exposure to high temperatures can exacerbate chronic illnesses such as diabetes or kidney problems. Conversely, extremely cold destinations, like polar regions or high-altitude mountain areas, come with their own dangers. Older adults often have slower blood circulation, reduced fat insulation, and weakened immune responses, making them vulnerable to hypothermia, frostbite, and respiratory complications. Cold environments can also stiffen joints and muscles, increasing the likelihood of slips, falls, and fractures. Even mild outdoor activity in freezing weather can lead to serious consequences if proper precautions are not taken. High humidity can also be deceptively dangerous. It can make hot weather feel even more oppressive, hindering the body's ability to cool itself and raising the risk of dehydration or heat-related illnesses. Humid environments can exacerbate respiratory problems, making it harder for seniors with asthma or chronic lung conditions to breathe comfortably. Seniors planning to travel should carefully research the climate of their destination and consider their own health conditions. Avoiding extreme climates or visiting during milder seasons can drastically reduce health risks. Additionally, taking preventive measures such as staying hydrated, dressing appropriately, limiting outdoor activities during peak heat or cold, and having access to medical support can make travel safer and more enjoyable. Ultimately, being mindful of climate risks is essential for older travelers to ensure comfort, safety, and peace of mind. If you want, I can also expand keynotes 2 and 3 in the same detailed manner to make a full guide for elderly travelers. Do you want me to do that? For seniors aged 65 to 80, traveling to high-altitude destinations, such as mountainous regions, plateaus, or ski resorts, can present serious health challenges. At elevations above 8,000 feet, around 2,400 meters, the air becomes thinner, meaning it contains less oxygen. While younger travelers may adapt relatively quickly, older adults often have a slower physiological response to reduced oxygen levels. This can lead to altitude sickness, which ranges from mild symptoms like headaches, nausea, and fatigue to severe complications such as shortness of breath, dizziness, fluid accumulation in the lungs, pulmonary edema, or the brain, cerebral edema. Even healthy seniors may experience difficulty sleeping, increased heart rate, or elevated blood pressure at high altitudes. Those with pre-existing conditions, particularly heart disease, lung problems, or hypertension, face heightened risks. The strain on the cardiovascular and respiratory systems can trigger serious events, including angina or arrhythmias. Additionally, the lower oxygen levels can impair cognitive function, making decision-making, balance, and reaction times slower. This increases the risk of falls or accidents in uneven, rocky, or icy terrain. Cold temperatures often accompany high altitudes, adding another layer of risk. Seniors are more vulnerable to hypothermia and frostbite due to decreased circulation and slower body temperature regulation. Sudden weather changes, common in mountainous regions, can make outdoor activities dangerous. A brief snowstorm or heavy rain can quickly turn a simple hike into a hazardous situation. Acclimatization is crucial for older travelers visiting high-altitude destinations. Gradual ascent, frequent rest, and limiting physical exertion in the first few days can help the body adjust to lower oxygen levels. Staying well hydrated and avoiding alcohol or heavy meals also supports better adaptation. Seniors should carry medications for underlying health conditions and consult their doctors before traveling, especially if they plan to engage in physical activities like trekking, skiing, or climbing. Ultimately, while high-altitude destinations offer breathtaking scenery and unique experiences, they require careful planning and caution for older adults. Ignoring these risks can result in severe health issues and emergency situations that can ruin a trip, or worse, threaten life. Seniors can still enjoy these destinations safely by prioritizing gradual acclimatization, monitoring their health closely, and having emergency support readily available. If you want, I can now expand Keynote 3 in the same detailed 400-word style so we can continue building the full elderly travel guide. Traveling to remote destinations, such as isolated islands, rural villages, deserts, or wilderness areas, can be particularly risky for seniors aged 65 to 80 because these locations often lack sufficient medical infrastructure. In case of illness, injury, or a sudden medical emergency, access to professional care may be limited, delayed, or expensive. Older travelers are more susceptible to health complications due to pre-existing conditions, slower recovery times, and reduced immunity, making access to prompt medical attention essential. Even seemingly minor health issues can escalate quickly in remote areas. Dehydration, foodborne illnesses, insect bites, or minor injuries can become serious if not treated promptly. Seniors with heart problems, diabetes, or respiratory conditions may face life-threatening risks if medical assistance is far away. For example, a heart attack or stroke in a remote location could have devastating consequences if emergency services cannot reach the patient quickly. Additionally, ambulances, hospitals, and pharmacies may be scarce or non-existent, and transportation options might be limited to long drives or small aircraft. Remote destinations can also present environmental challenges that increase the likelihood of injury. Uneven terrain, lack of lighting, or poor road conditions can cause falls or accidents. Extreme weather, such as sudden storms, heavy rains, or snow, can further complicate access to medical help. Even when local clinics exist, they may lack advanced diagnostic tools, medications, or trained personnel to handle complex conditions commonly affecting older adults. Travelers can mitigate these risks by taking several precautions. Seniors should consult their doctors before embarking on trips to remote areas, discuss potential health risks, and carry a comprehensive medical kit, including prescriptions, emergency medications, and first aid supplies. Travel insurance with coverage for medical evacuation is highly recommended, as it ensures access to higher-level care if local facilities are inadequate. Planning for reliable communication. Satellite phones, mobile signal boosters, or local emergency contacts is also critical in case immediate help is needed. Ultimately, while remote areas may offer adventure, scenic beauty, or tranquility, seniors must carefully weigh the risks of limited medical access. Prioritizing destinations with readily available healthcare, or at least planning for contingencies, is essential for ensuring safety, reducing stress, and preventing potentially life-threatening situations. Responsible planning allows older travelers to enjoy remote destinations while protecting their health and well-being. If you want, I can continue by expanding Keynote 4 in the same detailed manner to keep building the complete elderly travel guide. For seniors aged 65 to 80, visiting popular tourist destinations with heavy crowds can be surprisingly risky. While these locations are often famous for their attractions, the sheer number of people can create stressful, overwhelming, and even unsafe conditions for older travelers. High visitor density can lead to long queues, difficulty moving around, and constant jostling, all of which can cause physical fatigue and emotional stress. One of the primary concerns in overcrowded areas is the increased risk of accidents. Slips, trips, and falls are more likely when navigating crowded streets, narrow pathways, or congested transportation hubs. Older adults often have slower reflexes, reduced balance, and weaker muscles, making them more vulnerable in situations where sudden movements or crowded conditions are unavoidable. A simple stumble in a packed area can result in serious injuries, such as fractures, sprains, or head trauma. Overcrowding also affects accessibility. Seniors using mobility aids, such as canes, walkers, or wheelchairs, may struggle to maneuver through congested spaces. Limited seating, long waits, and difficulty finding rest areas can exacerbate fatigue and discomfort. The combination of physical strain and mental stress can make even a short visit exhausting, reducing the enjoyment of the trip. Another significant concern is the impact on health. Crowded tourist spots often have higher exposure to germs and infections. Seniors, with typically weaker immune systems, are more susceptible to illnesses, from common colds to more severe infections. In addition, heat, poor ventilation, or close proximity to others can worsen respiratory conditions or exacerbate chronic illnesses such as asthma or heart problems. Planning is key to mitigating these risks. Seniors should consider visiting popular sites during off-peak hours or seasons to avoid crowds. Using guided tours with smaller groups or booking tickets that allow early entry can help maintain a calmer, safer experience. Identifying rest areas, staying hydrated, and wearing comfortable footwear can also reduce physical strain. In some cases, exploring lesser-known attractions can provide a more enjoyable and safer alternative, allowing seniors to experience culture, history, or natural beauty without the hazards of overcrowding. For seniors aged 65 to 80, traveling to destinations with poor infrastructure can present serious challenges that affect both safety and enjoyment. Poor infrastructure includes uneven roads, unpaved paths, lack of proper sidewalks, unreliable public transportation, and inadequate accessibility for those with mobility limitations. Older travelers, who may already have reduced stamina, balance issues, or joint pain, are particularly vulnerable in these environments. Uneven terrain, potholes, and poorly maintained walkways increase the risk of slips, trips, and falls, which can lead to fractures, sprains, or head injuries. Even minor incidents can have severe consequences for seniors due to slower healing times and the potential for complications. Stairs without handrails, steep inclines, or narrow passageways further add to the difficulty, making simple movement around the destination physically demanding. Public transportation in areas with poor infrastructure can also be challenging. Delays, overcrowding, or the lack of seating can exhaust older travelers and cause stress. In some regions, buses, trains, or taxis may not be equipped to accommodate seniors with mobility aids, leaving them with limited options for getting around safely. This can restrict access to attractions and make it harder to maintain energy throughout the day. Additionally, poor infrastructure often correlates with limited access to essential services such as clean restrooms, medical facilities, or reliable food and water sources. Seniors are more sensitive to these factors because they require regular breaks, hydration, and nutrition to maintain energy and overall well-being. Lack of access can lead to dehydration, fatigue, or digestive issues, making the trip more physically taxing and less enjoyable. Traveling in such conditions requires extra preparation. Seniors should research the infrastructure of a destination beforehand, focusing on accessibility, transportation options, and the condition of streets and pathways. Carrying supportive walking aids, wearing sturdy footwear, and planning shorter travel distances per day can help reduce strain and risk of injury. Selecting accommodations near attractions or in areas with reliable infrastructure can also minimize unnecessary walking or exposure to challenging terrain. For seniors aged 65 to 80, traveling to politically unstable regions can carry significant safety risks that are often underestimated. Political instability can manifest as civil unrest, protests, violent clashes, strikes, or even sudden changes in government regulations. Older travelers are generally more vulnerable in such situations due to slower reflexes, reduced mobility, and pre-existing health conditions, making them less able to respond quickly to emergencies. Even minor disturbances in politically tense areas can quickly escalate. Roadblocks, curfews, or sudden closures of public spaces can leave travelers stranded, often without access to transportation or essential services. Overcrowded or chaotic conditions can increase the likelihood of accidents, stampedes, or injuries, which can be particularly dangerous for seniors who may have limited physical resilience. Moreover, communication challenges, including language barriers or lack of reliable local information, can make it difficult for older travelers to navigate rapidly changing situations safely. Healthcare access is another critical concern. In regions experiencing political unrest, hospitals and clinics may be overwhelmed, understaffed, or closed, reducing the availability of emergency care. Seniors with chronic illnesses, such as heart disease, diabetes, or respiratory conditions, may face life-threatening complications if medical attention is delayed or unavailable. Even basic necessities, such as medications, clean water, or food, can become scarce in areas of conflict, adding to stress and health risks. Financial and logistical challenges are also heightened in politically unstable regions. Bank closures, sudden restrictions on transportation, or emergency curfews can disrupt travel plans and leave seniors vulnerable. Scams and opportunistic crimes often increase during times of instability, putting tourists at greater risk of theft or fraud. To minimize these risks, seniors should prioritize travel to destinations with stable political climates and reliable safety infrastructure. Before visiting any country, thorough research is essential. Checking government travel advisories, reviewing local news, and understanding potential risks. Having a clear plan for emergencies, including knowledge of nearby embassies, hospitals, and safe evacuation routes, is crucial. Travel insurance that covers political unrest or evacuation can provide an additional safety net. Ultimately, while politically unstable regions may offer unique cultural or historical experiences, the risks for older travelers often outweigh the benefits. Ensuring personal safety, health security, and peace of mind should always take priority. By choosing destinations with predictable and stable conditions, seniors can enjoy their travels with far less stress and danger, allowing for a more relaxed and rewarding experience. For seniors aged 65 to 80, participating in adventure-heavy activities, such as hiking, skiing, mountain climbing, scuba diving, or water sports, can carry significant risks. While such activities may seem exciting and offer a sense of accomplishment, they often require a level of physical fitness, flexibility, balance, and quick reflexes that many older adults may not possess. The likelihood of falls, strains, or other injuries increases with age, and recovery times are typically longer for seniors compared to younger travelers. Even seemingly moderate activities, such as walking on uneven hiking trails or kayaking on calm waters, can pose challenges. Reduced bone density, joint stiffness, or pre-existing conditions like arthritis can make falls or minor accidents more serious. A slip on a wet surface, a misstep on rocky terrain, or sudden overexertion can result in fractures, sprains, or even head injuries. Recovery from such injuries can be complicated by slower healing, weaker immunity, and the potential for chronic pain. Adventure activities also often occur in remote or hard-to-access areas, where medical facilities may be limited or far away. In the event of an emergency, delays in receiving proper care can lead to severe complications. Additionally, the physical exertion required by these activities can place extra strain on the heart, lungs, and joints. Seniors with cardiovascular issues, respiratory conditions, or other chronic illnesses may find even moderate adventure sports risky without prior medical consultation. Environmental factors, such as extreme temperatures, unpredictable weather, or rough terrains, add another layer of danger. Sudden storms, strong currents, or slippery paths can quickly escalate a safe activity into a hazardous situation. Fatigue, dehydration, and poor acclimatization further increase the risk of accidents and health problems during adventure activities. To enjoy such experiences safely, seniors should carefully assess their physical condition and limitations before participating. Consulting a doctor and undergoing a health checkup is highly recommended, especially for physically demanding activities. Choosing guided tours or structured adventure programs with experienced instructors, proper safety equipment, and controlled conditions can significantly reduce risk. Moderating intensity, pacing activities appropriately, and prioritizing rest and hydration are essential strategies for minimizing physical strain and injury. Ultimately, while adventure-heavy activities can offer excitement and memorable experiences, seniors must approach them with caution and preparation. Understanding personal limitations, planning carefully, and prioritizing safety can help older travelers enjoy these experiences without putting their health or well-being at unnecessary risk. For seniors aged 65 to 80, long-haul travel, whether by plane, train, or bus, can be physically and mentally taxing. Extended periods of sitting, exposure to changing time zones, and limited mobility during travel can create significant health challenges for older adults. Even a well-planned trip can become uncomfortable or risky if proper precautions are not taken. One of the main concerns is reduced circulation during long periods of immobility. Sitting for several hours in cramped spaces can slow blood flow, increasing the risk of deep vein thrombosis (DVT), a condition in which blood clots form in the veins, usually in the legs. Seniors are particularly susceptible to DVT due to age-related changes in circulation, pre-existing heart conditions, or medications. Swelling, leg pain, and stiffness are common, and in severe cases, blood clots can travel to the lungs, causing life-threatening complications. Extended travel can also exacerbate existing health conditions. Respiratory problems, arthritis, diabetes, and heart disease may worsen due to stress, irregular meals, dehydration, or limited access to medications. Jet lag and disrupted sleep patterns further strain the body, affecting cognitive function, mood, and energy levels. Older travelers may feel fatigued, irritable, or disoriented, making it harder to enjoy the destination upon arrival. Air travel presents additional challenges. Cabin pressure, lower oxygen levels, and dry air can lead to dehydration, dizziness, or breathing difficulties, particularly for those with lung or heart conditions. Airports and transit hubs can be physically demanding due to long walks, stairs, and heavy luggage. Navigating security checks, boarding procedures, and transfers can also increase stress and physical exertion. To minimize risks, seniors should plan long-haul trips carefully. Wearing compression socks, taking short walks during the journey, and staying hydrated can help maintain circulation and reduce fatigue. Consulting a doctor before travel is crucial, especially for those with chronic conditions. Carrying medications, travel insurance, and a small medical kit ensures preparedness for emergencies. Choosing flights with convenient schedules, minimizing layovers, and arranging mobility assistance at airports can further enhance safety and comfort.